everybody. Welcome back to the shop. Today we had to do a bunch of running around this morning. We took those front shocks back off of this Sandrail. We only put 150 pounds of nitrogen in them before we took it out to the dunes there on Memorial Weekend, and it wasn't enough. It was okay as long as you were climbing the hill, but when you turned around and were coming down, they were bottoming out real bad. So we went from 150 up to 250 on the pressure in those. The rear have 300. They seem to work out fine. So we got that done. I had to go chase some parts for this fuel leak that I had. Had to get a fuel pressure regulator. I had to order it. They didn't have it in stock. It'll be in tomorrow. We'll get that put on. But for today, we're going to go ahead and take this shifter, and we're going to take all of this. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do with this. I don't want to leave it looking rough like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the Dremel, and I've already started a little bit here as kind of a test, but we're going to take that Dremel with a little barrel sander on it, and we're just going to try to clean this up and make it shiny as best we can. It's really, you know, you can see it looks like a pineapple, so it's twisted and pointy and kind of hard to get in there. But I think with a little time and effort with that little barrel sander on that Dremel, we can get that cleaned up and shiny and looking nice. Because I kind of want it, it doesn't look right where this back of this, you know, our spine here is all clean and pretty, and then you've got just this Ford scale here. And of course from here down you're not going to see it anyway. You're only going to see this much of the shifter because the boot will come up to here. So we got some more sanding to do up here on these scales. They're not quite as smooth as I'd like them to be. And we're going to grind this with that barrel sander, clean that up, make it all nice and shiny, looking like this if we can. And then I bought a can of gloss clear, and we're just going to clear the thing. And why is my camera showing this backwards? Oh, I think when it plays the video it turns it around. Anyway, we got this gloss clear coat, Rust-Oleum, so it should work really well, and that way we'll just leave it all shiny looking with our green scales, and I think it'll turn out pretty good. So I appreciate y'all being here, joining me in the shop today. Always good to have you here, and let's get to it, man. Alright guys, well, we got our shifter all polished up real nice. That came out way better than I thought it would. And we got, what's that? Part of it's missing? You mean this part? Yeah, I was cleaning it because before we clear it we have to clean all these cracks out and everything to make sure we've got good enough surface to clean to, for the paint to clean to. And anyway, had it up the kitchen sink, and when I got done I washed it with soap and water, you know, just to clean it up real nice. These scales were getting kind of dirty from buffing and polishing and sanding and everything. So I had it up there and I put the towel in my hand after it was wet, and I took it like this to knock the water out of it, out of these cracks, and it just snapped off. Now when I first welded that, I had it in the vise and I pried on it and it was good and solid. The problem was we ground it too far. You can see here, so we ground it down pretty small, and that's where the problem. I had plenty of weld in there, and I don't know why I was so worried about grinding it as much as I did, but I did. So I mean, it's not the end of the world. We'll take and bevel these edges again real good. I'm going to hook up my 170 amp welder this time so I can get more heat to it. And we'll just wet a rag and wrap it around all this finished work, because I don't want to. That was a lot of work. You only saw maybe in my video maybe a fourth or a fifth of all the work that I put into that, because who wants to sit there and watch somebody hand sand for 2 hours, you know? But yeah, we'll just re-bevel these. I'll wrap a wet rag around this so I don't get any splatter on this finished part, and we'll just re-weld it back together again. I mean, it's a little setback, but it's not the end of the world. The important part is, look how nice that came out. I mean, I can't believe that was just that ugly Ford scale mess. And I didn't like the contrast between the nice shiny spine and then having this ugly Ford scale here. And then you'd have the pretty boot down here, you know. Your boot will be down here. That's pretty much how it's going to look. You're just going to see that sticking out of the boot. And it's, you know, nice brand new boot and nice pretty scales and spine and everything, and then just this ugly Ford scale on that. So it took a lot of work this afternoon, a lot of scrubbing and polishing, and you know, there's still imperfections in it, you can see. I mean, we don't want it to really look like it was store-bought or whatever. I want it to have that handmade look, and it does. You know, it still has, it's got some pock marks, and you know, it's rough enough to tell that it was hand twisted and handmade. But yeah, so there we go. That's going to do it for today, guys. We got the majority of the cleanup work done. It won't take 5 minutes in the morning to 5 or 10 minutes to re-weld that back together good and strong. Like I say, I'm going to use my 170 amp welder instead of the small one. Problem is I don't have any wire for it, but I can take the spool of wire out of the little one, put it in the big one, and make sure we got the right size tip and what have you, because 170 amps will give me a little harder burn. Like I said, I don't think it had anything to do with the weld. I overground the weld when I got it done. So lesson learned, be careful after you weld something that needs to be good and strong, don't grind it too much. So and I don't know why I got so carried away with the grinder, because you're really not going to see that anyway. It's going to be underneath the boot. So I could leave it all botched up and ugly, and it's not going to be seen, you know. So anyway, thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate y'all watching. Thank you to all my subscribers. And if you haven't yet subscribed, please do. I'll leave a little, there'll be a little circle right down here at the end of this video. You can click on that and subscribe to my channel, then click on that little bell. You'll be notified whenever we put up a new video. Overall, the car is just about ready to go. I had to order that gas fuel pressure regulator. It goes on that rail on the driver's side, the fuel rail. They didn't have one in stock today at the parts store. They ordered it. It'll be there tomorrow. They'll give me a call and I'll run and get it. Took those front chocks off this morning to come down to four-wheel drive parts. Had those pumped from 150 up to 250. I jumped on that front end. It's much stiffer. I think that's going to work out better. All we have to do now is finish up this shifter, get it welded back together, get the boot put on it. We got to clean up that little cup that ball goes in down there and get everything bolted on and adjusted. And then just put the rest of this stuff back together. I want to kind of straighten out that little aluminum valance that was on the front where somebody banged it into something. I'm going to take my rubber mallet and on the welding stump, on the anvil stump over there, see if I can't pound that out, make it look a little bit better. We'll get that all put back on. And we're ready to go back to the dirt again. My son texted me the other day and said, when are we going to the dunes? I told him what I had going on here, but we're ready to go here in the next couple of weekends. I'd like to get back out there and sling a little more sand around. So, hey guys, I really appreciate it. Be careful when you're working in your shop. Try not to overgrind your welds. I'm glad I did it here while I was messing with it out, out at the dunes where I'd just be stuck. So, always be careful. Wear your goggles, wear your face shield, whatever, respirator when you're grinding. Get out to your shop and do something, tear something up, fix something, build something, make something. Have some fun and let your cares roll away. That's what I do. But right now, it's time for me to run over to the grocery store. I bought a brand new ice cream maker. Came today. And I'm going to make some really rich, nice, good ice cream for after dinner tonight. We're having barbecue, boneless pork ribs, corn on the cob, and jalapeno shells and cheese. So, wish you could be here, but I guess it'll just be my brother and I and a buddy of mine that stopped by. So, again, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.